What's up, everybody? My name is Rose, and welcome back to my channel. I'm a writer and artist, and I do a lot of stuff here. This is all about sustaining a creative life. Lately, I've been spiraling a little bit, so I'm just reaching for things that make me feel good, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the internet, some things that actually are bringing me joy on the internet and how to find that, and some crafts, okay? So sometimes the dictionary adds new words, and being the person I am with my kind of interest, my kind of occupation, I'm a copy editor. I love these lists. So this is me reacting to the 2025 Oxford English Dictionary editions. There's some notable ones on here, guys. I took a little preview. The first word, alphabetically, is adultification, the action or practice of teaching children or young people like adults. I feel like this is very much talked about in the family vlog criticism space, which I watch a lot of essays about. Alt text, I think this one's cool. This is an accessibility thing. This is the text that screen readers use to convey what's going on in an image. So for people with visual, like low vision, blindness, a lot of times. So it's really important for us as creators to provide alt text where possible. At, as a verb, like to at someone has been added, as in like the at symbol and then their username, tagging them. Cold open, like the beginning of a sketch, without any introduction. Designed to intrigue, engage. We've got cosplay as a verb, to dress up in costume as a character. Fun. Simp as a verb, to be excessively attentive or submissive to someone. Speed run, all versions like noun, verb, in reference to speedrunning video games. That's cool, and they have it as one word, which makes sense, but it's probably out there both ways. Oh my god, Spidey sense. We love! Originally in reference to Spider-Man, a supernatural ability or power to perceive things. I am not an OED girly. We use Merriam-Webster. In this household, but that's because, you know, I'm American. I like reading stuff like this, though. I like knowing about what words are becoming relevant enough for them to put in dictionaries. I also enjoy just the silliness of it as like a celebration of new words. I think my favorite word in there is cosplay. But speedrun also excites me for some reason. Do you spend a lot of time in dictionaries like me? I do this for my job where like I have to confirm with like our style guide what forms of words we're using or what words we like don't use, not accepted. It comes up more often than you would expect, honestly. My camera doesn't really think I'm a face today, and it might be because there's so much happening on the floor behind me. Listen, I just haven't gotten to it, okay? I had to read these words. I have to find something that I like appreciate about the internet these days that's actually fun and good with all of the AI shit that's been happening. Like, I literally just, I can't with the AI. It's so ugly. It's so bogus. It's not free. It might be free to you right now. Is it free to the world? No. We're just making everything worse by using it. It just makes my skin crawl. Ugh. What's up, guys? It's a Saturday. I'm hanging out doing some things today. But I wanted to talk about NaNoWriMo. She died. Did you guys see that? if you're hearing it here first, the organization known as National Novel Writing Month has said that they are shutting down after a series of catastrophes, essentially a series of very chaotic PR disasters, one of which I have described at length in a different video. I'll link it below. I'll also link the Vice article that explains what's happening now below, but basically they're no more. Although the website is, they're keeping the website up for as long as possible, which I don't know how long that will be. I don't know how much it costs them to host the website on a year-to-year basis, but it might be up for a while, so you can go in there and you can grab anything from your account that you want still, which is nice. I don't think I really have anything on mine that I want to grab, but I might take some screenshots for sentimentality. So the interim director basically announced this in a YouTube video. It's like a long YouTube video, and it boils down to like a lot of financial problems. Although what I would say was the real end was that they alienated like every group of people who was really interested in their cause. And that started before the thing where they endorsed using AI to write books, and they endorsed some applications of generative AI. Before that, they had lost virtually all of their staff members, and I can say within the nonprofit space, if you lose that many people, I don't think it's a good sign for any new hires. I don't think anybody is eager to join an organization like that because they're gonna be like, well, does this really align with my values, you know? In that kind of mission-driven space, it really takes people who not only are talented and at the particular role, skilled at the particular role, I mean, but also people who want to do work for probably less money than they could, especially where NaNoWriMo, their office was located. It's in the Bay Area. Things are very expensive, right? And there are a lot of options to work in tech. So working for a place like this is typically because you really believe in what they do. If the belief goes, oh man. It was already an incredibly small team for the number of participants, I would say. It was like 12 people, I want to say, like 12 full-time employees. I don't know if such a small staff was ever like super sustainable, but it's an expensive thing to like run. So anyway, the former, or I don't know what to call her, because does Nano exist anymore? Is she still the interim director, or is she the former intern? I don't know. Kilby really emphasized like the financial struggles and the lack of donations from like the past few years amid these scandals, and said some interesting things about how participants really considered the whole program to be free when like it's not. It is free. I think that was a little bit of a misspeak. That's part of what being a nonprofit is. It is free. Nobody has to donate. Nobody is obliged to contribute financially. And that was one of the great things about it. It was super accessible to so many people, especially people just trying out this whole writing thing for the first time. So I'm not super tapped into like where people are going next as far as like a big event, a big novel writing event. I know like I've heard that there is an interest in that, but I don't really know what it is. For a long time, have not been super tapped into the actual events because I've been trying to just develop more consistency throughout, and less like that level of 50,000 words a month intensity is not for me right now. But I was super plugged into the community just for like reading about how people's books are going and commenting on people's posts and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that, and that's something I am still going to want to do, you know? I think right now is a time where we really need literary organizations, and they all have such a hard time. And one of the arms of NaNoWriMo was like their school programs where they supplied materials for teachers to help kids write fiction and do these big fiction projects, sometimes like a whole novel. And I don't know if that's what it was known for, and I don't know if that's where its biggest impact was, but I think it's a real bummer that we're losing out on that with Nano's closure. I also just think that we, as a society, need people to be writing and reading and engaging with that part of the brain, doing it themselves and developing that capacity. I think that's why the AI thing was so upsetting and jarring to so many people and really, really did not mesh with our ideals. And I think we're at this like inflection point where we get to say what we think about AI and how it will be used in creative capacities. And I already see a lot of creatives saying, well, it's flooding the space. It's what have I seen? Like, oh, it's inevitable. We have to adapt with it. We have to learn to work with it. Maybe not for every field, like, but I just disagree. I think we get to say what we think is okay right now. Maybe there are some spaces, like I've heard a lot from animators, from 3D artists, from people who already work with digital tools, like, and work in industries. So they have jobs in studios and stuff. I think maybe there's less of a choice, but I don't know. I just like, why should we, especially if we're solo, as authors typically are, why should we just say, okay, I guess, you know, like, now is the time to speak and say what we have to say about AI. I'm not anti-new technology. I think AI has a place. Generative AI even has a place in the world. I think that in my experience with it, because I have used it and I've seen my clients use it, I've edited work that people have submitted to me directly from ChatGPT. It makes communication worse. It encourages us to accept what is simply there and good enough as opposed to what our actual intention was. And it's bad for the environment, and it is starting to be shown that it degrades our capacity to ever do it ourselves. So people become quite reliant on it once they start using it. I don't like it. As somebody who cares about words and cares about what words are saying, I don't accept good enough from AI. And it's been my job over the past couple of years to not accept good enough. I wish people wouldn't submit AI things to me in the first place, because things do get very murky about, like, well, what do you actually want to say? And I don't think it ultimately ends up saving them time, because I have a lot of questions. Getting something from a machine makes them feel more confident than writing it themselves, because people have a very uncomfortable relationship with writing. And that sucks. I'm sympathetic to that, but I don't think this is the solution. I feel like it's been a busy few days, but I have been asleep for a lot of it. So, still really struggling with that and the migraines. Getting basic life tasks done is so hard for me. So, I'm doing my taxes today. I I did some work. It's a rainy day. I have this huge window that I sit in front of when I work. And I mean, he sits here. He sits here like 90% of the time. Now that we have that cat tree, this man, it's honestly shocking that he's not in it right now. And he loves it so much. The rain, you know, is keeping the birds away, but he's still looking for them. Today I'm working on a video I filmed about this. Very exciting. That should be out. Speaking of Linda Berrien, drawing and writing, I have been writing a little comic project that I'm pretty excited about. I've been using like a template I made in Canva that's a 4-quadrant type grid situation, and I just make a page for like what I would consider every installment. It's about a little crafty devil who goes to the world, like Earth, for the first time, looking for the best artisans and craftspeople she can to try to tempt them to come back to hell with her. And it's very lighthearted and silly. And I want to potentially create a Substack. I don't know. Are people on Substack? Are people reading? Because what I would like to do is do like early launches on Substack and then eventually post them on like my, like maybe an Instagram or something. So you would get it a week or two in advance on Substack, and it would be free. And maybe I would make a paid tier someday, but I honestly like don't care. I kind of am just looking for a different way to connect with people and share some writing. And it would be kind of like a weekly newsletter check-in about crafting. So in addition to 4 panels of the comic every week, there would be like a few photos from whatever I worked on. And I think in Substack you can like respond if you set it up that way. Like you can have people comment and it can be all public. And so people could like talk about whatever they were making, etc. That's the idea. Sort of like a semi-private way of interacting, because I'm just so bummed with all these social media platforms right now. They're so depressing. They're so like downright evil. Oh my god. I'm changing the frame because he did not end up sitting with me. So here we are. Yeah, I'm so just like disgusted with the AI. I'm disgusted with the conservatism. I'm disgusted with the tech kind of oligarchs and stuff. It's really sad because I freaking love social media, guys, and I've been like an early adopter for a lot of things, and now I just want to like log off sometimes. So much stuff has been a real hassle lately, and it just makes me feel so like unglamorous and sad because I'm fighting for my life to get freaking paid all the time by my clients, just like accounting errors and stuff. Nobody's real fault, but I feel like everybody's struggling so much, and it's really the total number of mistakes that I've been encountering just like trying to move through the world has dramatically risen since January. I like always fight every month for my freaking migraine medicines. It's so insane. I guess I've been thinking a little bit about like vent art, what it means to make kind of like angry, upset art. I've made some stuff kind of along those lines. So I've kind of been moving in silence about my embroidery designs because, I don't know, sometimes I just want to perfect them and treasure them. That's my water. But here are some samples that are pretty good. I made this little reject AI design. This is the only time I've stitched this one out as a prototype, but it's still really fun. I'm playing with like transparency. I need to make it way more transparent, but I want the blue to overlap the red. And I've been making a lot of these, which is a design I've had for a long time. It says trans rights now, and kind of like a funky little hand-lettered design I did. This one is an okay stitch out of it. I've done a little bit to make it even better since then. I'm thinking of going to this art market in like 10 days and selling some of these just for charity. And like donating to a trans rights nonprofit or a trans healthcare like kind of thing. I need to check out like what's in Washington and what organizations need support around here. But I'm thinking about doing that. I also made this one. It says Everybody Arts. And this is in response to this sentiment that art is like quote unquote inaccessible to people and that AI is the solution to that. I think that everybody can make art, and I don't really believe in this distinction between like art people and non-art people, and I think that's very made up. But it has a real impact on people, don't get me wrong. It really makes people feel a certain type of way about what they should be able to do. And I think that's a real bummer, and one of my missions is like, well, I don't know, I haven't been DJing, but one of my missions as a creator is to make people feel like they can make art. Yeah, so I've done a couple of these too. And it is a fart joke, because I am who I am. It's only 2:19. I might make some more videos today too. Lillian is gone. She has a afternoon to evening shift, so like I tend to be very productive during these shifts of hers. God. Finally. Very productive or extremely unproductive, and I just sleep the whole time. But when she's here in the evenings, I'm like, I need to hang out with you, and we just sit together forever. Oh my god, my boy's here. But when she's not here, I'm like, I need to fill the void. Oh yeah, you're gonna be so comfy here. Me and Star have been on the same wavelength this week. Okay, I also get a lot done when he's on my lap, because I can't go anywhere and just mill about and procrastinate by doing small cleaning tasks that are not even really touching the overall clutter of this place. Whoops! That's a different issue. Well, hello. This morning I am crafting. Smokey's here. He's already hungry. Star's already hungry. Do you want to be in the film too? You want to be in the movie? They love to talk. And so every time I vlog, they love to talk. I think we really reinforced it when they were kittens. So, what am I doing? You know how I showed you some of my embroidery? I had a huge pile of stuff to cut out, and so I'm doing some of that. you want to see them? I can't remember if I showed you these before, but I cut out more of the Everybody Arts patches. This one's my freaking favorite. I think that's the second time in this video that that's happened. I have like a little box that this thing, I just had my phone here and then it slipped behind it and fell all the way to the floor. It's fine though. This is like kind of weird. This design, this is the only one I have of it. It says create problems, and the vibe was like, use your art to make problems for the government. I don't know if it conveys that, but I'm gonna put it on my Trader Joe's bag. And then I have so many that are just complete fails that I'm gonna put in my little craft book that I haven't started, except for putting this on the front page. Maybe we'll start that today. This is my super graphic, ultra modern girl design, but I spelled graphic wrong. This is my first stitch out of these little sewing scissors based off of this. It's like almost to scale. But this one just had some thick areas that it couldn't stitch. So that's like a common problem I have when I start it. This is one I made yesterday. That is a weird little gecko guy. And the pattern is not mine and it's not set up quite right. This is like a bunch of mess ups. I had this lettering design that said I've got issues with my tissues, which is like this hilarious cheesy EDS reference that I've seen on like some t-shirts people sell online. And I tried to do, you see how it's like a circle fill? That's not how big shapes like this are usually filled. I was trying to see like what a specialty fill would do, and it didn't really get it right in all of it. It's not super suited to this lettering design. The letters are really challenging. It's better if the big shapes are all connected, and I've done a lot of lettering designs. Let me show you some other fails. This is the scrappy one I mentioned. This one, I put too much of the scrap material that I'm trying to use in it, and it failed. This is what it actually looks like. Isn't that cute? I like it a lot. There are probably a couple areas in this that I could fix now that I know a little bit more about how to stitch it. But I have a few of these. Maybe I'll put one of these on my bag. I have this one that I was trying to do 2 layers on for kind of a neon sign effect. You really can't tell on this one. It was my first stitch out and it was too thick again. I feel like this one, which I've shown before, has some areas where it fails really commonly. So there's like a little clump on the back. I wonder if that's something I could fix, because it takes a really long time to stitch this one out. It's like 45 minutes or something, and it's so annoying when it fails. I don't know. I had another one that failed with this design. I guess it's not in the exact same place. It's even closer to the end, but I know for a fact that this was because my needle was too dull. The stitches are pretty dense in some of these areas, and the shapes are small. Those are problems for the machine. Surprisingly, going over the circle, not a problem, really. Sometimes it doesn't look like 100%, but I think it's pretty cute. I don't know. Anyway, I've learned so much while making all of these. I've learned so much about embroidery. I've learned so much about art and physical production of art. It's really exciting, and I feel so compelled to do it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. A huge amount of my artistic practice is doing what I want and being liberated from this mentality of what should I do, what should I not do, what should I focus on, what should I not focus on, what should I improve, what should I allow. I don't think I can escape from that. But I do try different things. He's already having a crisis. I guess it's after 11. He does kind of talk for like an hour before I feed him at this time of day. Come up here. Come up here. Please? Please. Please. Please let me entertain you. Oh no. I got you. I got you. I got you. What are we going to do for this 45 minutes before I feed you? Do you want a stick? Do you want a stick? This is one I was talking about. Dude's obsessed with me today. He really enjoys that I put on his sweater. Oh, it's a little off-center, isn't it? I mean, is anyone else hanging on by, like, the thought of their next craft project? I'm gonna do one thing that I have been inspired to do by a really cute French lady. What's her name? Her name's Azriel Atelier. She has these jumbo She has these jumbo spools. This is gonna become like a jumbo version of this, but it's also gonna be storage. And I'm also gonna paint this. This is inspired by nothing. I am just trying this out. And this is gonna be the last few things I do this week for the vlog. So I'll check back later with my thoughts.
The point was at this time that when I did that, we were speaking about that nothing is really corny if you can find a way to do it.
I love this. I wanted it to turn out kind of like naive and whimsical, so I did the lines really wibbly, but then the lines were going to be wibbly anyway because it's really hard to draw on this surface. I painted this too, and I haven't decided what yarn to use on it. I just wrapped this up. Isn't this so cute? It looks like a giant spool. Let me find the one that's like most similar. Like this one. The little one. The big one. I'm so pleased. This is gonna look so cute on this shelf up here. And I don't know quite what I'm gonna store in it yet because like I want it to be something where I don't have to dump everything out. if I need something from the bottom, you know? I was thinking of doing cords, but that would have kind of that problem. If you were really hunting for one thing in particular, I don't know, but I'm very pleased with that. And then I've tried to salvage this in so many ways, and now it's just blotchy. But oh well. That is part of the craft. And then I started to check on like my little pile of patches that I'm maybe bringing to sell this weekend, but it looks like I need more, right? Sorry, my windows are open. It's probably like very noisy right now. So I'm gonna work on the patch thing. But that's it for today. That's the end of this vlog, and I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And check back for more like art and writing, daily life type content where we can just hang out and create together. Okay, thanks so much. Make something that makes you happy today. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.